This is Ben Workentine, and I am excited to be sitting here with Ben Enstad as he is here at Men of His Word, ready to present. Ben, so good of you to stop by and take a minute to talk with us.
Hey, you bet. Glad to be here.
Can you help for our audience, just where you're at, your ministry context, what you're working on right now?
Well, from ministry context as a whole, I serve by myself up in Door County, Wisconsin, kind of mid-Door County. And one of the things that enabled us actually serving where we do, I'm extremely blessed in my compensation, and so that my wife doesn't have to work out of the home, but then also, too, it helps fund kind of what I'm here to talk about today is, at Men of His Word, is adoption. I think in some different ministry settings where maybe compensation isn't what I get, it'd be a little bit more difficult or maybe even impossible to take that journey because of the money costs. And so that's what I get to talk about today. And then, how that's worked in our life, adapting once, trying to adapt again, and then start off, of course, talking about first, what's it mean for us to be adapted, because the presentation is God's adopted adapting.
Excellent. Oh, that sounds awesome. So what's your big takeaway that you're hoping, the big idea that you're hoping people will walk away with?
Well, first, I think, as I say my little promo for it too, I think even in our culture at times, people, and I've run into it a lot, adoption sometimes is taboo. And I don't get it, and especially when you're talking to Christian people, because it's not at all a foreign concept, especially because like the whole theme of the presentation, well, God's adopted you. Looking at the language, especially Paul uses it in 4 places. He's the one who exclusively uses a specific legal word for adoption. It's weird, you don't find it in the Old Testament, but it still happened. And this whole image of God adopting us into His family and how He did that, and how wretched and just miserable we were. We were worse off than the worst orphan there has ever been, and yet God still chose to love us and has adopted us into His family. So that's one of the big things then too, and help people see, sometimes the adoption journey, it's crazy, and guys I hope are going to just go, what? But one of the takeaways I hope is guys start realizing too, one, if you're going through the process or you're trying to support someone going through the process, you hear a lot, it's like, why are you doing that? Or they'll look at you like you're nuts. My response now is kind of, because I, especially working on this presentation, is, well, as crazy as that is, just consider for a minute how much more outlandish it was for God to adopt you, and the unbelievable lengths He went through to adopt you so that you would be His son, so that you would be His daughter, and maybe help people see that a little bit better, the love that is in people's hearts to bring a child into their home through adoption. So, and look at the crazy process, because it is. Yeah.
And you said you've adopted one, you're in the process of adopting a second.
Yep, we adopted our son Asher in 2015. That was after, that was already a 3-year journey leading up to that point from where we started, which was very different from where we ended is very different from what we started with. We started international, wanting to go Korea. That fell apart. I mean, there's so many stories in that, but ours was unique. They're both minors. She was 16. Birth dad was 17. She's a member of one of our churches in western Wisconsin. So actually, we got 2 phone calls in 24 hours. One through our agency. Hey, here's an expectant mother who wants to connect with you. And the next day, my bishop from Vicar calls and says, hey, Ben, you guys still adopting? Well, here's another. So in 24 hours, we went from 0 of over a year and a half waiting to 2. There's a whole long story in there, too. But we built this relationship so that we were actually there for Asher's birth. We were in the room. I even got to cut the umbilical cord. Oh, wow. Which is, I don't think that's pretty regular. And then we took him home at 2 days old. And 2 months later, there's what's called termination of parental rights, where the parents sign away their legal rights, but then there's a whole nother 6 months. For us, it ended up being 9 months before we could finalize adoption, which is where legally he's your child now. So, and now we've been back in the adoption pool for over 2 years now. We've had 5 failed connections. The last one was pretty rough this fall. That was down in Phoenix area, and you could say one way, lost a lot of money, and she jumped ship on us, and it was a hard fall. But to go through September, October, but God's still bringing blessings. Our just hope is, like, especially for her, we just thought all this, let's go through all this drama and all of how her life is so messed up so we can bring some continuity to her. But then also, too, most importantly, help her build her relationship with her Savior again. And, it that's one of the hardest things, is thinking of that. that's opportunities kind of broken, at least between us and her. But you never know what our witness is going to be able to do.
Sure.
God can do anything. So.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm sorry for your heartache there, but glad
we get through
you're coming through that and seeing guys working in that and being kind of a missionary to that person, sharing with them that hope and that adoption that they have through the Savior. So if our listeners are curious finding out more about adoption and they want somebody they know as kind of a bounce some ideas off of or ask questions of, or folks who are wanting to support adoption families in their life, maybe they're not ready to be one, or they're but they know somebody who is, how can they reach out to you?
Well, I guess probably the easiest way, just email, probably just the Enstads, THEENSTADS @gmail.com. That's our personal family email.
Okay.
Or you could go to whatever it's called, the Wells Yearbook and things like that too.
Sure.
But that's probably easiest. Or you could even, check us out on our church website. You can see a picture of Asher. Actually, not right now. Something's wrong with our website. It lost my picture. So I don't know what happened there.
And the church website is?
St. John Valmy, STJOHNV, as in Valentine, ALMY.com.
Okay. So we'll make sure we'll get those in the show notes so that people can click on that right away.
And one other good resource, which I bring up in class 2 here, or will, is now I'm going to forget it, a Facebook group that my wife is one of the 4 or 5 ladies put together. Okay. She's going to kill me now because I can't remember what it's called.
There's a Facebook group, and you'll get us the link.
I'll get you the information. Yeah. And that's one where you have to ask to be joined, and an admin will bring you in, but it's in particular
kind of a support group for
adoption families and foster families.
Excellent.
So it's really cool.
Yeah. Well, thanks for stopping by today, Ben.
You bet.
Sure appreciate it.
Glad to be here.